All right, so welcome to another episode of the podcast. I am here today with Jayda. I follow Jayda on Instagram. Her name is Surpassing Moms on Instagram, and I came across her content. So I followed her, and then I reached out because I wanted to speak with her. Jayda has four children
Yes.
and a newborn.
Yes.
So she's going to tell us a little bit about her motherhood journey. Um, so I'm going to start, let you introduce yourself. You can tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, what inspired you to start creating content, and then we'll get into the fun stuff.
Okay. Hey, y'all. So, my name is Jada. I am 27 years old. I have four beautiful babies. My oldest is 7. My youngest is 2 months. And in between is my two boys, which is 5 and 4. Those are a lot of ages to keep up with. Um, I started creating content because, listen, like being a parent is very expensive. It can get very expensive. And I initially started out making content based off of like fun places to take your kids on a budget, if not free. So yeah, that's where I started off with my content creation. And then now I'm just posting about my daily life all day, every day. And y'all love it. So I'm gonna keep doing it. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, so to start, we'll start with pregnancy. And you can kind of give it to me how you want to give it to me. If you want to give it to me each pregnancy, or just like compare, not comparing them, but tell me a little bit about this one, how it differed from that one. But just
Mhm.
in general, how were your pregnancies with the kids?
It's crazy because, okay, boom, I got two girls, two boys. For both of the girls, my face broke out like crazy. And that's how I knew I was having another girl because, mind you, my first girl, I mean, my oldest is a girl, my youngest is a girl. So, yeah, baby number 4, I knew that I was having a girl because my face broke out again. And I was craving nothing but sweet things. And that only happened to me when I was pregnant with my first, which is Sanaya. And with my boys, my face was glowing. I did not break out at all. And with both of them, I wanted nothing but salty, spicy things. So that's how I knew. I knew that baby number 4 was a girl because that was the only time I ever broke out.
That's funny you say that because people say things like, you know, if it's a girl because of this, and they'll say like a boy. The girls will. I don't like the
Real.
saying, but girls will take your beauty, and
Yes.
like boys will make you glow.
Yes. And I used to think that that was so fake, but it really happened to me. I thought that was crazy.
So I know, like, so you can see the similarities between the two, but with like, I feel like the age, not that we're old, we're young people, but I do feel like
Um,
age impacts your pregnancy. Did you feel like having a baby, that your first pregnancy was a lot different from your most recent pregnancy?
Yeah, because with my first pregnancy, like, that was my first time. So I had no other kids to tend to. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So with this fourth pregnancy, it was a big difference. Like, I'm pregnant, dealing with my own physical changes, and I got 3 other children to look after and take care of on a daily basis. So yeah, it was a big difference between my first and my fourth.
Yeah, I bet I could just like when you're pregnant, especially that first trimester, you're tired. So like it's easy to take a nap when there's none of them. But then
Yeah.
once you have another one, it's just like I can't even take a nap because I'm looking at you right now. I'm
No, for
tired.
real, sis.
Um, and what was like, I don't want to say, I guess that's what I mean. Pregnancy can be an emotional time. So like, how did you manage? Was it very emotional for you? Was it just like I'm going with the punches? I don't like the way I worded that, but you know, like going with the flow. Just like, was it overwhelming at all?
Yeah, it was overwhelming. I feel like my first 3 pregnancies, they were overwhelming because I still chose to work. You get what I'm saying? Like, I didn't really sit down. Well, actually, with Juju, that's my third baby. I got the chance to sit down because that was during COVID. Everybody got laid off during COVID. Yep, 2020. And so, yeah, my baby daddy, he was taking care of the bills and stuff like that. So I did get to sit down during COVID because he was doing what, FedEx, and they were still open. FedEx was still open. The drivers and stuff. So Yeah, I did kind of get to sit down with Jewel. So, matter of fact, I would say my most easiest pregnancy was my third baby, Juju, because of the fact that I got to sit down and I didn't have to work. But yeah, baby number one, baby number two. Maybe it was just baby number one and baby number two. And I feel like it's because I still was working. So yeah, just those two were the most overwhelming for me. And then this most recent one wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
I do just want to say to listeners, I mean, not to you because you already know, but it's just like a testament to how in a pregnancy when you rest and relax, take things easy, it just makes your pregnancy so much. I don't want to say easier, but I saw your post. I was doing my research, but your post earlier, and you talking about how this was one of your most peaceful pregnancies.
Yeah.
But like, it just allowed you to focus on growing the baby, and you know how like if the mother's stressed, it could stress the baby out and things like that.
Yes.
So like, I'm glad you were able to have that because they don't care. Not they don't care, but like maternity leave should be extended.
Yes. For real. Really. Okay. People always ask me like, Jada, is you gonna have more kids? And honestly, like, I want a big family. I do, but it's just like I'm not having no more if I can't be put up. You get what I'm saying? Like I need to be put up. Like not just like a stay-at-home mom to where as though I stay in the house all day, but I need to have a budget. I need an allowance to where as though I can still go out and enjoy myself and buy whatever I want to buy. Like I'm not trying to just strictly be a stay-at-home mom that stays in the house Monday through Sunday. Like no, I don't want that. But yeah, I have another one if I'm put up. Right.
I think that yeah, cause same. Like if I had the means, resources, yes, of course, because it's not so much like I would, kids are great, they're blessings, but it's just like you gotta have the time for them and yourself, and it's like it's
Okay.
hard to do that when I gotta go to work,
Yes.
Monday through Friday, and do what I need
For
to do,
real.
and then they gonna send me back to work at 12 weeks after I had the baby, if I even get that long.
Okay.
So,
Real.
um, so did you have the same doctor for all the babies?
Girl, no. And I'm pissed about that because my first, which is Sanaya, her doctor's name was Dr. Hines. I will never forget her. She was the best doctor ever. And I was hurt because she ended up like graduating from the residency or something like that right after I had her. And so she left when Naya was probably like, I think like 6 or 7 months. So I was so hurt. And then as far as my second, third, fourth baby, matter of fact, all right, let me stay in order. Okay, second and third baby, I don't even remember their doctors' names. And then with her, her name is Chanel, but her nickname is Chanel Leonte. Anyway, so with Chanel Leonte, I saw a different doctor every time I had an appointment. Every single time it was someone different. So she didn't even really have her own doctor. So yeah, but yep. Dr. Hines, just I don't know if she may see this or whatever the case may be, but we miss you. I love you. Girl, I haven't seen Dr. Hines in 7 years. That is a long time. But yeah, that she was my favorite.
The fact that you remember her name, I feel like it really shows how great she was. Because I can't tell you the name of the person who gave me, my first
Yeah.
child. I couldn't tell you, but that's what made her stand out from like the other ones. Like how she treats you,
Because
like
like
what made her so
yeah,
great.
I could just tell that she loved her job. She loved my baby. She was the sweetest thing. Like, it's hard to come across people that actually love what they do, especially I feel like in the healthcare field. But yeah, I could just tell that she loved what she
Who
do.
was like present at your birth? Like, did you have support? How did they support you, or
Oh
how did
yeah.
it? Somebody can
So
be present and not support you. So
when I gave birth to Sanaya, it was my baby daddy, my mom, and my best friend Jazz. They were in the delivery room with me, and it was a good time. Like, of course, after I got my medicine, I was chilling. I was good. The epidural. But yeah, I remember my mom. She was in the delivery room playing Lion King. I don't know if you've seen the movie, but either way, in Lion King, they held the baby up like that. And whatever song that is, my mom was playing that in the delivery room. I'm like, like for real, somebody get my mom. Like she played too much, but that was my favorite experience. My favorite labor and delivery experience as far as like after I had the epidural though, because as far as the contractions, I feel like that was the worst ever because with Naya, that was my first experience, so I didn't know what to expect. So I dealt with those contractions with her horribly because I didn't know what to expect. You know, people just say it hurt, it hurt, it hurt, it hurt. Okay, to what extent? But people always have a hard time explaining like how much a contraction hurts. But yeah, um,
Yeah.
what I was about to say? Oh, okay, and then for my second delivery, that was Jayden. It was just me and matter of fact, it was me, dad, and two of my aunts. My aunt Ashley and my aunt Paigey. And that was a cool time too. My third delivery was Juju. It was just me and dad because of COVID. So they wasn't even trying to have nobody in there. And then for my most recent delivery, labor and delivery, it was me and dad again. Just us two. Yeah. But out of all my kids, my most easiest labor was Juju, which is baby number three, because he was not trying to come out. He was being very stubborn. So I made it to like 41 weeks. So I had to get induced. They gave me a scheduled date to be induced. So boom, I get to the hospital. They like, all right, we're gonna get this started, and at any point you feel like you can't take the pain, just let us know and we're gonna just give you your epidural. I'm like, oh, they done messed up telling me that because what I did was I lied. I lied and said that I was in a lot of pain so that I could hurry up and get the epidural. So that I could hurry up and get the epidural, before the real pain even came. So yeah, that's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
I lied. I said I was in excruciating pain. They gave me the epidural, and it was like what they say, smooth sailing or whatever. Yeah, because I lied. I wasn't in. I was experiencing. I was experiencing tolerable pain. So I just let them give it to me during that time.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time that it did increase, I ain't feel nothing. So that was my favorite labor and delivery experience. And again, yeah, Naya was my worst because I didn't know what to expect. So
Yeah. They don't describe contractions well at all.
yeah,
They're
nobody
just
does.
like when you know, you know, you'll know
Okay,
when you feel
and
it. I was like,
I'm gonna
well,
tell you because
that
with
doesn't tell me anything.
Chanel Leonte, what happened was boom. So I learned with my second experience, which was Jayden, I learned that applying heat to my back helped me as far as like the contraction pain. So boom.
Mm-hmm.
With Chanel Leonte, I got in the shower and I put it on all hot, like I do on any other day anyway. I just love it all hot. But I let it run on my back. So boom. At this point, I feel like I was still experiencing what they say, pre pre labor contractions. Yeah, pre labor contractions because they were tolerable. I was like really dealing with them, but I knew that it transitioned from pre labor contractions to active labor contractions because it was starting to knock the breath out of me, girl. Like that's how I knew. So yeah, they were less tolerable and more so I need to go to the hospital now. Like I was hurting real bad. So like I knew immediately when that switch flipped. So yeah, you know when it's a real one.
When you were pregnant,
Hmm.
it really can go for each one, but like, okay, how did your children react? Like my son was obsessed with my stomach. And he was like, I
Yeah.
wanted to have a girl. I had two boys. But he was like,
Hmm.
my baby sister. But like how did the babies react to you having a, being pregnant?
Yes. So my daughter, she was obsessed with me being pregnant. My two sons, they ain't care for real. They ain't care about me. They ain't care about me being pregnant. It was just Naya.
They
Naya.
wasn't pampering you.
No, I mean, Jayden, that's my second born. He used to rub my feet. He was rubbing my feet, and that's just because he saw his daddy doing it. But yeah, he was rubbing on my feet. And then Juju would copy if he saw Jayden do it. But besides that, nothing. Naya, she would be at my hip, always trying to touch my belly, rub my belly, talk to the baby. Like it was a couple times the baby probably kicked her in the face. I don't know if it was a foot, I don't know if it was a knee, But either way, Naya's face was always on my stomach, and she would, feel a bump on her face. So yeah, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. It could have been a punch. It could have been a kick. I don't know.
You got a perfect balance. You got your two and your
Okay,
two.
I know. That's why everybody keeps saying, like, are you gonna have more kids? Like, you had two boys, two girls. Like, what are you shooting for? I know, because it ain't no other gender after that. So yeah, I am gonna take me a break though, for real. I am going to seriously take me a break. Nobody believes me, considering the fact that they are all so close in age. But I am taking a break. Okay, mommy need a break.
You said it's 4 years. 4 years isn't too close. I mean, I guess for some people they can consider that close, but I think 4 years is a nice, we're
I
bad.
know, cause well, the first three I kind of had them kind of back to back. 7, 5, and 4.
Yeah.
2018, 2019, 2021.
So how was that having two under two? I think that's 2020. Yeah, you
Girl,
said two eight
oh
2018, 2019. Yeah.
gosh, yeah. It's crazy because I just was talking to someone the other day. I said, like, when you go from one kid to two, it's a big difference. But when you go from two kids to three or three kids to four, I don't really think it's much of a big difference because you already got that experience of dealing with multiple kids. I just feel like that big difference is when you go from one to two. To me, anyway.
A lot of people say that on the internet.
For
Like,
real?
once you conquer one to two, you can do well. What I have seen,
Right.
they say once you like conquer the one to two, that's the biggest change because it's like you. Well, for me, it was a big change. I can't speak for others, but it was just like one child. You can give them what they want. Then two is like this one over here crying. My kids are 3 years apart, just about. So he was still like he still need things, but you know what I mean. Like he was still I want my mommy, I need cuddle, da 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 da. But like so it was just managing that. But I think once you manage it that one time, it's whatever. My best friend, she had a baby, and I was holding her baby, and then my youngest wanted to settle me. She's like, "Oh, I can take the baby." I was like, "I can hold two kids." She was like, "Oh,
Okay.
I forgot you had two young kids." I'm like,
Class.
"Yeah, it's nothing. Like you learn what to do." But I didn't lost my train of thought. Okay, I don't want. Well, one thing. What my brain be jumping, which you probably have noticed throughout the course of this
Mine's jump too, girl. It's
conversation.
okay.
But like, what was one thing like with your first? What did you learn from her that you took to your second pregnancy, and then like what did you learn from him that you took to your third? If there was anything that you learned, or was like, I don't want to do this again, or this time let me do this better, or whatever.
Yeah. I feel like I learned so much with my first baby.
Mhm.
Like, okay, so boom. When I was a first time mom, that was like my first experience with dealing with a little small baby. I never had experience at all dealing with a little tiny baby. Now, I have a baby cousin. His name is LaRon. That's my uncle's son. And I had a little bit of experience, from watching him, but he was like already 10 months old. It's a difference between a 10-month old and a little baby infant. Like, I never had no experience with an infant. So, boom, I'm going to tell you a story. So, one time I was clipping Naya nails. And they have those tiny little nails, you know what I'm saying? And I accidentally like clipped her skin just a little tiny bit. So it was like a little one drop of blood, right? Girl, while I'm on the floor crying, like she about to bleed out. Like I gotta take her to the hospital, like crying, bawling my eyes out. I was living on Moravia at the time, Moravia Park Apartments. I never forget it. I was on the top
Mhm.
floor. Girl, I was stretched out on the ground thinking this baby is about to bleed out. Like I have to go to the hospital. So I'm calling my
Just
mom.
gotta
My
put some pressure on.
mom Girl, my mom, she calling me all types of clowns. Like, girl, she is not about to bleed out just because you accidentally, nicked her skin a little bit. Girl, I didn't know. Because I just thought, like, it's a little tiny baby. It probably got a little bit of blood
Mhm.
inside. I ain't know. So, yeah. So I definitely learned from that lesson that, your baby will be fine if you
Yeah,
accidentally nip the skin. They are all right. So I
but
learned
also
that.
clipping nails is very scary when they're so young. They're just. I feel like I've avoided clipping nails for a long time because I was like, I don't want to nick you. Like,
Seriously.
put these gloves on or mittens, whatever, and you be all right.
Yes.
But you crying over the nicks. Kind of
Girl, I was
hilarious.
on the floor. I'm for real. I was on the floor, stretched out. Real.
And the baby probably just looking at you like, I'm
She was.
fine, bro. Get up.
She was.
Okay, so how was your first postpartum? Um, because
So,
I feel like the first one is usually the hardest because it is a shock and it's new.
yeah, it was the hardest actually. So my first experience with postpartum, mind you, I told you I had zero experience with a little tiny baby. So, and I think I was telling my little sister about this because my little sister, her name is Mariah, she's pregnant right now. She's having a boy. I knew it was a boy. But anyway, I was telling her the other day when I was at her gender reveal, the first 2 weeks of my postpartum experience with my first baby, which is Naya, was the worst because I felt like I was doing nothing right. Mind you, boom. This was back in 2018. I'm living at Moravia Park Apartments off of Moravia. I was on the top floor. My best friend, she had her own place down bottom on the first floor. My baby father was working at Amazon at the time. So he was working overnight. So I was by myself with the baby every night. But my best friend used to come upstairs every single night and help me. Like, girl, that's something I will never, 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 never in my life forget. Like, that helped me out tremendously. My best friend coming upstairs every night. It was a routine, really. Like, because she'd just go back downstairs whenever dad would come in the house in the morning. But yeah, so boom, my best friend, she is the youngest of like 8 siblings. So she has a lot of nieces and nephews. So she has experience with babies. So boom, Naya will be crying. I'm trying to get her to stop crying. Nothing worked. I pass her to Jazz. She quiet. 20 seconds top. I'm like, I remember I whispered in her ear, like, she not your mommy. I'm your mommy. Like, why am I having a hard time with getting you to stop crying? Like, she's not your mommy. That's your god mommy. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, yes, yes. But I'm your mommy. So yeah, my first experience with postpartum was not good. But after the 2 weeks, I feel like I was getting the hang of it, but months went by and I just like would find myself looking at old pictures of myself, you know, pre baby, like Jayda without a child, you know, asking
Mhm.
myself, like, dang, where'd she go at? Because, like, I wasn't really feeling myself like how I used to or typically would anyway. Like, I knew I wasn't ugly or nothing like that, but I don't know, like, I stopped taking pictures for a long time. I remember that. Like, I just, it
Mhm.
wasn't giving what it was supposed to give. Like I wasn't feeling myself at all. And it was just like really hard to explain why because for the most part I did bounce back fairly quick, but I don't know, like I just was not feeling myself at all. So that was a struggle for me. Like my confidence kind of dropped a little bit. I ain't gonna lie.
How'd you come out of that?
Girl, I forced myself to like get out more and I was comfortable with my mom watching Naya. She's good. I trust my mom. So I like pretty much started doing things that I used to do, like something as small as put some strip lashes on and put my little lip liner on. Like it was months I was just rocking like chapstick. Knowing good and well I'm a girly girl. Like I'm very feminine. I love lip glosses, lip liners, stuff like that. So I was just basically trying to get back to doing things that I used to do before I had the baby.
So, having gone through that with your daughter, did you keep like were you more mindful the next pregnancy of like, okay, let me make sure I do this so this doesn't happen again, so I can still feel like myself?
Yeah, I did because with Jay, I definitely kept myself up. I still was trying to wear cute outfits and my belly was out there big. I still was trying to wear cute outfits. So yep, I did that with baby number 2 and baby number 3. Girl, I got pictures and everything.
Good. Because I do feel like that's another thing that happens. You can lose yourself in a sense, and just
Yeah.
like because you're so focused on taking care of this little human being. Human
Mm-hmm.
being. Why did I just say that like that? Human being.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so not anything else, but like, how was it overall with your second, your third? Because technically, right now you're still in postpartum, so I'm not about to ask you about this baby. But with your second and your third, how are those postpartum journeys for you?
Jay, let me think. Jaden was cool. I ain't really have no complaints. That's baby number 2. Baby number 3. Yeah, I don't got many complaints because I really just feel like Naya, like that was the worst. Which is, baby number 1. Naya was the worst, but number 2, number 3 wasn't bad at all. And then right now, this is experience number 4, postpartum experience number 4. And surprisingly, I feel great. And honestly, girl, because let me tell you what I did this time. I got my placenta encapsulated. I'm like, let
Mm-hmm.
me see what this hitting for. Because I've heard so many, great things about it. Like, it's supposed to balance out your hormones and all these great things. So I'm like, all right, let me try it. I paid $500. I got it done with the company is called Mommy Made Encapsulation. Yeah. So, but mind you, let me tell you this story. So, because I was doing a lot of research, and some people were saying that the hospital might give you a little bit of pushback just because you want to take your placenta home,
Mm-hmm.
girl. So I'm like, all right, let me, have what I got to say ready. If I got to state my rights and all this, I'm gonna be ready because I want to try it. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is my placenta,
Yeah.
but supposedly, like, our placentas are worth a lot of money. And so that's where that comes from, supposedly. But, anyways, I had all my kids at Franklin Square. So, boom. This time around, I did tell them, like, yeah, I want to go home with my placenta. A lot of people have asked me the question, like, oh, what they said, da da da. Girl, all they said was, okay, sign this release form and get it up out of here
I was
within
going
a
to
hour.
ask.
I was like, oh, all right, bet. So I got that done. I
Mm-hmm.
signed the release paper and then Dad got it out, once I pushed it out and they packaged it up for me. They packaged it up for me too. That was nice. So yep, I sent it out to LA because that's where they are based in LA. And they sent it back to
Mm-hmm.
me and I've been taking my pills and I really think they work because this has been the best I've felt ever after having a baby. Not even just mentally and emotionally, but
Mm-hmm.
physically as well.
Obviously, not obviously. I know you breastfeed because when we started this call, you were breastfeeding. Has it? Do you think it's impacted your supply or anything at all
Has it? I'm
in a
sorry.
good way?
Has it impacted what?
Your milk supply, because I know
Oh,
sometimes they say that could help with that too.
girl. So this is my first time breastfeeding. First of all, so because my other kids, they was definitely Similac babies. I ain't had the patience, but um, at first, like I had a lot of milk. Like it was a lot. Like my boobs were very heavy. They were hurting and everything, which I did not like that part. And then one day randomly, like it decreased out of nowhere. And I'm like, what happened? So, girl, I was pissed. And so I'm going on Google trying to figure out what I gotta do to get my milk supply up and all that other stuff. Um, this has been such a journey for me, but what I feel like is actually helped me the most with increasing my milk supply is I started taking this tea. I forgot what the brand is, but either way, it's called Mother's Milk. Dang, I forgot the brand name, but either way, you can find it in Giants, Walgreens, any market for real. But I feel like that is what's helping me increase my milk supply because I noticed ever since I started drinking that tea, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's
Okay.
that song? That Doja Cat? I'm a cowgirl.
I knew exactly what you were talking about. What you said was the song.
giving mommy cow. Don't that girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um. So this is such a again a jump. What was your transition? Were you working when you had your first two?
Yeah, I was
I keep
working when
knocking into
I had
them.
Naya, and I was working when I had Jayden. I was a dental assistant back then. So yep, I worked
Hmm.
up until what? I worked up until 2 days prior of Naya coming out. And then with Jayden, I believe I worked all the way up until like 2 weeks before he came out.
And what was it like going back to work after having them? Like, how soon did you have to go back? How did you feel
Like,
emotionally about that?
girl, well, I went back as soon as I could, which was the 6 week minimum, I guess. After 6 weeks, I went back to work, and I remember with Naya, I used to think about her all day, every day. Like I used to want to hurry up and pick her up, because at first my mom was watching her, but Naya got put into daycare at like 3 months old. But yeah, I used to just think about her all day, every day. I wanted to hurry up and get off of work. Like, I just feel like, I don't know, they be so small and you don't really want them with
Hmm.
anyone. Like, I love my mom, yeah, but it's just like, I just want them with me. Like, I want them with
Yeah.
me. So yeah, I just would be thinking about them all day, every day. I used to be speeding home.
And then it's like you don't know. Well, at least for me, I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna miss. What if he starts sitting up today? What if he roll
Well,
over and it's
well,
not
like,
me? Like,
seriously, because I remember when Naya was a baby, I went back to work, and then my kid's dad, they all had the same dad, by the way, but my kid's dad, he was staying at his mother's house for a week, which I forgot why. Like, I ain't gonna go too far into that, but me and him, we have had like such a toxic relationship, up and down, whatever. Most of us do. We had kids at a very young age
mm-hmm.
together. I was 19, he was 21. So, we've done the whole break up, make up, bull crap, moving out the house, da 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 da. So I think this was during a time we done fake broke up, whatever. And he
Mm-hmm.
was at his mother's house for like a week, and he had her with him. And I'm blowing his phone up like she's not gonna remember who I am. I need her to come back now. Like, oh my, I was calling every day. Like, she needs to see my face, show her a picture, let her listen to a voice message, something. So, yeah.
Girl, I did not mean to snort. Oh my god!
Girl, I was going through it
I let her listen to a voice message.
for real. But that just goes back to what you said. Like, what if I miss something? Like, that's how I
Yeah, I get it, but also I feel like, nah, I feel like, um, I think it's a hormone thing, but we be like so attached and just
feel
like bring my baby back.
for real.
Yeah. Uh, do you feel like your relationship changed at all for either the
Oh my
better or worse? I'm saying that wrong. After you had a baby.
it changed. Like, cause before the baby, it was just us two. You get what I'm saying? Like we could just
Hmm.
get up, go, do whatever, whenever, however, But
Yeah.
baby came in the picture, and I feel like a lot of the times, especially when you have a child at a young age, one of the parents, they like mature faster than the other. Like one of the parents lock into being a parent, and the other one's still, trying to move young, as we should, but it's just like we got a kid now, so like we can't really be moving like the typical 19 and 21-year-old. Like we have a very, very serious and important responsibility. So it's like I feel like a lot of the times, like a lot of arguments come from pointing the finger at each other, like you not doing this and you need to be doing this and
Hmm.
blah 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 blah. Like, so yeah, yeah, I feel like it changed a lot, because I feel like us women, we naturally tap into being a mother, and a lot of our focus starts to go on baby, baby, baby,
Hmm.
baby. And I feel like the man starts to feel very much neglected at that point because it's all about baby, baby, baby. And by the time you do have time to even think about him, you tired, you ready to go to bed.
Yes.
So yeah, yeah, that was a
Drained.
struggle. Yeah,
So with that, were you more mindful when y'all had your son?
girl, no,
That quick answer, girl.
girl, no, girl,
But also love
shoot.
the honesty.
Girl, shoot.
um,
Let him tell it. I'm the most tired person that he has ever met. That's my excuse for everything. I'm tired. I'm tired. No.
but you are though. I believe it. I completely believe it. Like at the end of the day, you done took care of yourself. You done took care of your kids. You done blah, 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 blah. You done took care of the house. Like
Yes.
I be, I want to go to night night. Like
Oh, for
I
real.
want to sleep.
For real. Going to sleep is my answer to everything. Girl, I'm upset. All right, I'm taking a nap. I'm sad. I'm taking a nap. Girl, even when I'm happy. Oh, I feel so good today. I need to take me a nap.
Girl.
That's my answer to everything. That's my favorite thing to do. I ain't lying.
hmm Do you this is more so motherhood. Um Sometimes like what am I saying, girl? Okay, what am I
That's
saying?
right.
Um with your first and your last, do you feel like your motherhood style has changed? Do you feel like you handle things differently um
Um,
than you would have when you were younger?
yeah. I feel like I have so much patience now. Like, it's crazy. Like, I have a
Mhm.
lot of patience. Like, girl, you can ask anybody about me. I got a good amount of patience now. I do. Yeah, that's something that changed a lot about me. I have a lot of patience now. Like, I saw this
Mhm.
reel. It was something like the kid fell or made a noise in the other room. It was like if you a first time parent, you gonna run, see what happened. But it's like I feel like I'm a vet in this now, so I can tell when it's something serious. Like if I need to even go check and see
Mhm.
what's going on. Like, girl, yeah,
You just said it like that TikTok.
yeah,
The
I'm a
Nicki Minaj. I think it's Nicki Minaj. She's like, "Girl, okay."
yeah.
It's
Like
like somebody screaming.
like I know when it's something serious, like for real. So yeah,
Mhm.
because I took every little thing serious when Naya was a baby. Girl, I used to stay at the hospital all the time. But
Mhm.
if you a mom for real and you know you done been to the hospital a couple times, you know what they gonna tell you. They're gonna say, "Oh, we'll monitor it." So
Mhm.
once you done been told that about 15 times, you just like, all right, I know when it's time to really go to the doctors. Ain't nobody got time to be sitting up in Franklin Square. Oh my gosh, they got the worst emergency room. Anyway, yeah, ain't nobody got time to sit up there just for them to say, oh, we're gonna monitor it. So yeah,
Mhm.
I know when something's like, something that needs to really be addressed and taken seriously versus like, oh, they'll be all right.
You just said something. I realized I didn't even asked about my favorite thing. But two things first.
Mm-hmm.
I got to ask you a question about boundaries, and I got to ask you a question about Franklin Square. So I'm telling you that because I'm probably gonna forget one of them, and
Mm-hmm.
you'll remember. So
Right.
first, Franklin Square. How was the staff there? So like the nurses, like how did they? I feel like nurses are a big part of your labor part. You know
Yeah,
your labor. So how were they during that for all
girl.
of them?
So with the first three, I forgot, but with the most recent one, I remember because that was my best experience as far as the nurses.
Mhm.
Because boom, when I realized that I was starting to have active labor contractions, I'm like, yeah, I'm not waiting because they say that you need to wait until the contractions are like 5 minutes apart or something like that. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm about to go lie again. Like how I'm for real lying to the hospital anyway in regards to my pain has helped me a lot. But so I'm like, I'm about to lie and say that they already started being 5 minutes apart. At that point, it was like fluctuating 7 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 5, back up to 9. I'm like, I'm lying. I'm gonna say it's been 5 minutes apart for an hour. I don't have time for this. So I went up there and, told them that. And my first nurse, I remember her name too. That's how you know when I really like somebody. Her name was Nurse Sloan. And she came and told me, like, yeah, it's a lot of people in here. You have a lot of friends in here having babies like you, and it's a weight on the anesthesiologist. Girl, I was pissed, and I'm the type of person like I can't hide it. You get what I'm saying? I couldn't hide it. I was pissed. So she was like, she came back and was like, you know what? I see you're upset. I'm gonna make sure you see that anesthesiologist really soon. So I'm like, okay, girl. They gets me a room. The anesthesiologist was in the room within 2 minutes. I'm not lying. 2 minutes. Girl, I loved her. Nurse Sloan, yeah.
She like she needs it right now.
Get her a raise, honey. Get her Nurse Sloan, she did that. I'm happy I met her that night. And then also it was another nurse. This was my postpartum nurse, like, the nurse that I had after I had the baby. Her name was Nurse
Mhm.
Susan. Girl, I just loved her energy. She was amazing. Like, she was very attentive to me and my baby. Girl, she kept
Mhm.
the room, but she came in at the right times, not like the wrong times to where it was like, girl, get out. I just got the baby to
Yeah.
sleep. Like, no, she was very mindful of when she came in. So I appreciated that. Yeah, she was awesome.
So with the kids, was it hard for you to establish and maintain boundaries with like your I don't want to say external family, but not your immediate family. So like your parents, your grandparents, aunts, uncles.
Uh, no, it wasn't hard at all. Like, of course, everyone wanted to see the baby every time I had a
Mhm.
baby, but it's just like, my people, they know me. They know that for the most part, I like my space. And when I'm tired, I'm a whole nother Jada. So all I gotta say is I'm tired, y'all, and they gonna be like, okay, like we picking up what you putting down. So yeah, it wasn't no problem.
Well, that's great. I'm tired. Don't get out of my house. That's basically what you say. Like it's time for you guys to go.
Yeah.
The door's right there. Okay. Last two questions. What has motherhood taught you about yourself?
You said what has motherhood did what?
Sorry, what has motherhood taught you about yourself?
Oh, that I am very overprotective. I am very overprotective over what's mine anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah. I learned that about myself. And I feel like I've always been that way, but I never really loved anyone like how I love my kids. So yeah, I've learned that I am very, very, very overprotective.
Were you scared like when you went from one to two? Not scared, but I was like, how am I going to love somebody as much as I probably was thinking about it the wrong way, but I was like, how am I going to love somebody as much as I love you? And
I
then
get what
it happened,
you're saying
but
because it's just like you want to try to give them like equal amounts of love. You get what I'm saying? Like you don't want any of your
mhm,
kids to feel like, oh, you love him more or you love her more. So it's like you try to spread it out evenly. But after and it's crazy because people I got 4 kids, so they say, and I don't know why people ask this question, but they'll be like, "Oh, do you have a favorite child?" No, I do not. No, I do not. It's a by the day type of thing. You get what I'm
mhm,
saying? Like one day, me and Naya, we locked in. We locked in. Then the next day, she getting smart, being sassy, and she's like, "All right, I'm not feeling you today. I'm on Jay. Like Jay is sweet today. Like it's
mhm.
a day by day type of thing. But I definitely don't have no favorite child. They all get on my nerves equally.
That's not what I thought you were about to say.
No, for
I
real.
thought you were going to say I love them all equally.
And that too, clock it.
But also, yes, they all are annoying at some point. Like you're
Yeah,
getting on my nerves
I
today.
ain't got no favorite child. That's crazy.
Some people do though. I know you say it's crazy, but some people don't have that mindset, and they're like, "You, this child gets on my nerves, and this is my favorite." And it's
Girl,
just like, no, like
dude, when I was young,
they're both your kids.
I used to think that okay, so my mom, she has 2 kids, me and my brother. Girl, I used to think that my brother was her favorite because I used to get my ass whipped every day. Like for real. for real. Every day. But I had a little smart mouth, so whatever that was, what that was. But I used to get whoopings every day, so I used to be like, "Oh, ain't no way I'm her favorite."
She just wanted you to be the best you. She was like,
For
you
real.
doing too much, and I gotta get you right."
Yes, very much.
And so, my ending question, kind of, sort of, what would your advice be to someone who's about to give birth for the first, or just take the motherhood journey in general for the first time?
Right. I would say that I know it's hard to do as far as put yourself first. And, I know it sounds cliche too. Oh, put yourself first, because we're all told that.
Hmm.
But it's really the truth. But I feel like us moms, we naturally put our kids first. I don't know what it is about us, but we just do it. But that little quote, like you can't pour from an empty cup, is
Hmm.
it is so true. It's only but so much you can do if you down bed in a hospital bed for your child. And you know what I mean by that, because for some reason we forget to feed ourselves, we forget to drink water, like we forget to do the basic things that we should do for ourselves on a daily basis when we have a child for some reason. It's just them, all about them. So yeah, I would say again, I know it sounds cliche, but it's the truth. You have to put yourself first. So
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
I agree. Because, like you said, if you don't take care of yourself, it's hard to take care of somebody else.
Okay, you can't.
Yeah. And was there anything that I didn't ask you that you wanted to share um, about your motherhood journey, or any, I don't know, anything, or I don't care. Is there anything you want to share?
Well, I will say that I love being a mom. It is very challenging. It can be. I have my days where I'm overwhelmed, overstimulated, and things along those lines, but it's definitely so worth it because I just feel like it ain't nobody that's gonna love you like your kids. Like, girl, I could be having a horrible, horrible day. And my kids funny too. They funny. I could be having a horrible day, girl. They say something to make me laugh, and it's just like everything has been erased.
Mm-hmm.
You know, transpired prior to they little joke or whatever they say out their mouth, because kids say anything. It's like it was just erased. Like, what was I even mad for? What was I even sad for? Like, I love my kids, so yeah, they are my strength and they are my weakness, because that is like really the only way to get to me anyway is through my kids.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's
Yeah, I feel like once you have kids, that's the only, not the only thing, because I can't speak for everybody, but it's like you really not about to. That's a lie, because I get mad sometimes, but eh, you're most likely not going to get a rise out of me unless it's about them or their fault.
right, right. Basically,
Oh, my niece and nephew. But you know what I'm saying? Like the people that's like they can't. I mean, they can defend themselves because I've taught them, but it's just like, why are you messing with them?
yeah, right.
But yeah.
That's it.
I know I just said I was done, but I lied. I got one more question because I feel like this has been hitting me hard.
Hmm.
How has it been watching your baby like grow up? Not your baby, not the one in your arms, but your 7-year old.
Oh
Like,
my gosh, girl, and it's crazy because I just felt like I'm about to start crying. I just felt it, like, because when you can hear, I mean, not when you can hear, when you can feel tears like about to form.
yeah.
Girl, I'm one of them moms that look at her baby pictures and make myself cry every time. I don't know why I do it. I just
Mm-hmm.
do it. Like how Jody said, I don't know why I do it. I just do it. But anyway, I'm for real. Like, she just turned 7, and it's like I just do all this reminiscing. Like, oh my gosh, I remember when, like, you were so small in my arms, and now when I pick you up, like, I gotta brace myself a little bit now when I pick you up. Like, I'm just like, yo, how, why, when, where, who? How did this happen so fast? Because it's another little quote. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, the days are long, but the years go by fast. That is so true, because I feel like I just had this girl. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
got pregnant with her when I was 19, had her at 20, and now I'm 27. Like, where I been at? What happened? Like, girl, like, it make me sad for real, because I just feel like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and she 35. Like,
All right. Well, how did you jump to 35? I thought you were gonna say like she go to high school.
For real, that's how I feel. That's how I feel though. Like I just feel like time is going by way too fast for me. And I'm just like, okay, slow down just a tad little bit.
hmm
Yeah. But
It
she's
happens
growing
very fast.
though. Beautifully she is growing.
Okay, I promise that was my last question for this time.
It's okay.
Thank you so much for joining me
No
today
problem.
to do the pod. Follow Jada on Instagram. Is it straight surpassing moms or is it a hold
Surpass.
on y'all?
No plural.
Okay, surpassing mom. Where'd you come up? How'd you come up with the name?
Girl, everybody asks me that question. So basically, I feel like we're not just mothers. We are more than a mother. So we
hmm
surpass just being a mom. So that's where, I got that from because we are chefs, we are referees when we got to break up the fight between the kids, we are therapists, like we are the Uber driver, we are all the
hmm
we have many hats. So we are more than just a mother. We surpass just being a mom.
I like that. I like that
Thank you.
because it's a fact.
Okay.
A lot of different things. House manager,
Yes.
everything.
Accountant, everything. Housekeeper, we everything.
Yeah. All right. So then I will give you your day back.